This lesson is going to focus on how Dickens uses the physical descriptions of places in his books to mirror the character's state of mind. And we've already talked about this briefly in when we talked about the marshes and when Pip was feeling guilty and how the cows looked like they were preachers, dressed in black and white. So I'm going to just review a little bit here. We're going to see how we find the book online, e-text, Great Expectations, and we're going to go to the University of Virginia one again. And we're in chapter 20 for this. So here's another thing that's cool about using e-text. I know that I'm looking for the place where Pip goes to Smithfield. So I'm going to click on Find in my browser and come down here, and I'm going to type in Smithfield. All right, and hit enter. All right, so what it does is it takes me in this chapter right to the place where the word Smithfield occurs. Now, this is useful because maybe when you're doing a journal entry or a blog entry and you have to give evidence, you've got to give a quote from the book or something like that. If you can just remember, like a word or a phrase out of what you're wanting to quote, then you can type that into the search and it will take you right to it. All right. So, get my drawing tools ready here. I want to call your attention to this paragraph that starts, "When I told the clerk." All right? So let's just read through it for a minute, and we're going to highlight the words that stand out for us, okay? The words that describe this place that he's walking around in, this Smithfield. "When I told the clerk that I would take a turn in the air while I waited, he advised me to go around the corner and I should come into Smithfield. So I came into Smithfield, and the shameful place, being all a smear with filth and fat and blood and foam, seemed to stick to me. So I rubbed it off with all possible speed by turning into a street where I saw the great black dome of St. Paul's bulging at me from behind the grim stone building which a bystander said was Newgate Prison. Following the wall of the jail, I found the roadway covered with straw to deaden the noise of passing vehicles, and from this, and from the quantity of people standing about, smelling strongly of spirits and beer, I inferred that the trials were on." All right. Now, I have chosen just a very brief paragraph here. And Smithfield, you might want to know, is the place in London where they have a lot of butchers. And so that's why the streets would be smeared with filth and fat and blood and foam. Okay? So Pip has come to London and he doesn't feel very welcome there. All right? He feels very out of place. He's uncomfortable. He knows that he's come there to be made a gentleman, but he has no idea how to go about it. And so what Dickens is doing here by giving us, all of these descriptions, and if we see what happens if we go up a little bit here, all right, and let's see. Oh, that's talking about Jagger's place up there. So we're going to go back down here and we're going to focus on these things that I marked before: filth, fat, blood, and foam, a smear, shameful place, okay, and deaden the noise, and people smelling strongly. Okay, so what we've got reflected here is Pip's feeling of discomfort with being in London. But Dickens, rather than telling us that Pip felt uncomfortable, he lets him walk about in a place and then gives us all of this uncomfortable, unpleasant description of where he is. So that's how he uses description of physical place to reflect what's going on with the character. Now, your job is going to be to go to another place in the novel, and it can be anywhere, chapters 1 through 30, and find another place where this happens, and then do the same thing that I did in this lesson. Put the words down, say what the character's frame of mind is, and then explain how that description of the place reflects the character's mindset.